the lot of you. Now is not the time for gossip, bullying, or dilly-dallying. The lesson does not begin in your own time. Rather, it begins in mine. And you will do well to remember to pay attention during this particular class. Your first lesson in advanced potion making. Good. No questions yet. 5 points deducted from Gryffindor. You should have all brought with you your copy of Libatius Borage's Advanced Potion Making. Do you all have your copies with you? 5 points deducted from Hufflepuff. This book will be instrumental in not only helping you to succeed and thrive within the art of potion making, but will be critical to your success in the Newts. Study this book like no other. Do I make myself clear? Good. Today, we will be using this book to brew 3 distinct potions. Each one represents a distinct strand of potion making. Each one, in its own way, exceptionally difficult to brew, with potent results. As such, the potions that we will be brewing today are under no circumstances to be brewed outside of the classroom. Clear? Are we clear? 10 points deducted from Ravenclaw. Can anyone tell me who wrote the book I just mentioned? Yes. Very good. Libatius Borage. 10 points to Slytherin. Now, this book contains many recipes for advanced potions. The 3 potions we will be looking at today are the Draught of Living Death, an elixir to induce Euphoria, an And finally, an antidote to common poisons. Each one is useful in its own right, potent in its own value, and without proper training, lethal. We will begin with the draft of Living Death. Please turn to page 10 of your books. Very well. Now, can anyone answer this question? Does the draft of Living Death kill the imbiber? Yes, Ravenclaw. 5 points deducted from Ravenclaw. While the draft of Living Death is indeed a very, very, very powerful sleeping potion, to all intents and purposes, one that causes the symptoms of death, it can, in fact, cause death when handled, prepared, or supplied by an idiot. And so, it is critical that you learn how to brew this potion, not for your own merit, not to increase your own repertoire of potion brewing skills, but in order to ensure that if you ever imbibe, supply, or brew the potion, you do so responsibly. Depending upon the dosage, the person who drinks the potion could sleep indefinitely. This is why it is essential that we get the ingredients, their separation, and their quantities absolutely correct. First, we begin with an infusion of wormwood. What colour is wormwood? Yes, Gryffindor. Very good. 5 points to Gryffindor. Wormwood Infusion is green. It is green because it is inhabited by green fairies. Some of you may have heard of the Green Goddess. Well, this is not something to be discussed in classrooms, as it is adult-orientated. We take the infusion of wormwood and pour in a small amount into our cauldron, like so. Then we add powdered root of asphodel. The quantity of the asphodel is imperative, therefore we must weigh it to ensure the correct amount is included. We are looking for 20 grams. Or thereabout. What is that? And that will do. So, we take the root of asphodel and pour it into the cauldron. Now, we are required to stir the concoction. Would anyone like to hazard a guess how many times and in which direction we stir the potion? Yes, Ravenclaw. 1 point to Ravenclaw, but then 2 points deducted. We do indeed stir the potion clockwise, but we do so twice. 1, 2. Always ensure that one's tools are cleaned in salt and water. Now, a particularly vile ingredient. We require the brain of a mammal. Does anyone know which mammal is the slowest of them all? Gryffindor. Two points deducted from Gryffindor. Anyone else? Yes. Very good. A sloth. We require the brains of a sloth. They are porous and small. You will need 3. Now, we require the Superforce beans juice. You will see that in the book it details a way to retrieve the juice from the bean. However, I have perfected a much more efficient way. You'll find on your desk a silver knife. Take the knife and the bean. You see, it's quite large. Place the bean on the side of your cauldron, and with the silver knife, it has to be silver, squeeze down on the bean. And you'll see that the juice quickly begins to pour out with ease. Yes? Good. If there's still juice left in the bean, put it back into the preservative and save it for later. If you are handling a knife, please remember to pass it handle first when sharing. Never the the pointy end clear. Good. Now, more stirring. Would anyone like to hazard a guess as to how many times and into which direction we will be stirring? Yes, Slytherin. Very good. We first stir clockwise, and then after every 7th stir counterclockwise. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then counterclockwise for 1. And again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and counterclockwise. 10 points deducted from Hufflepuff. That was 8 clockwise stirs. You could kill someone. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and counterclockwise. 1. One more time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and counterclockwise. Very good, Slytherin. 2 points to Slytherin. And what kind of water do we place our tools in to clean? Yes. Salt and water. Very good. 1 point to Ravenclaw. Now, we have completed the mixture required for the potion, the draught of living death. We will normally wait 30 minutes for the potion to brew. 33 if you want it a little longer, and increments thereof upwards. However, to save time, I have prepared one already. The potion will appear lilac in colour, though when shaken will become clear. This is the first potion we are brewing today. And remember, please, it is not to be brewed outside of the classroom. Understood? Moving on from death and sleep, please turn to page 53 of your book. Now, you will see that we are going to brew the elixir to induce Euphoria. Now, does anybody know? I do not find it amusing to have the implication that I could use the potion And I do not want to hear counter-arguments. -5 points from Hufflepuff. The elixir to induce euphoria creates in the drinker an inexplicable, irrational sense of happiness and jubilation. I can't think of anything worse. Does anybody know what colour the potion is? That's correct. Yellow. My least favourite colour. 10 points to Slytherin. The first ingredient we use is the shrivel fig. Before use, the shrivel fig must be ground in mortar and pestle. We will be using the same cauldron because the cauldron is self-cleaning. -2 points from Ravenclaw. Take your travel mortar and pestle and pour in a generous dose of shrivel figs. And then we grind. Initially, you will need to break up the shrivel fig in order to make it more malleable within the travel device. And now we add 2 porcupine quills. One. Do not handle them with your bare hands. -3 points from Gryffindor. 2. Once the ingredients are in, take your stirrer, which should be made of selenite, and stir 4 times anti-clockwise. Do you know which direction that is? Good. 1, 2, 3, 4. And what kind of water do we place our tools into? Salt water. Very good. Now, Sophophorus beans. Can any of you recall the best way perfected by me to extract the juice of the Sophophorus bean? Yes, that is correct. Press it with a silver knife. Only silver will work. Hold down the bean and press into the knife. Thusly. You don't need a lot for this one. The next ingredient is again Wormwood Extract. Can anyone tell me why it is green? Yes. 2 points to Ravenclaw on account of the green goddess. Now, we stir once again. Can anyone here tell me which direction we stir? Yes. Now, 2 points for gold. Yes. That's correct. Counterclockwise. But how many times? 6. That is correct. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then we must let it brew once again. However, I have prepared one. Once prepared, take an empty vial and take the cauldron and pour through a funnel into it. Here we have it. As you can see, yellow as the sun and bright too. Now, it may seem to you like a good idea to brew as much elixir to induce euphoria as possible. But there are concerns you should be made aware of. For one thing, it can become horrendously addictive. For another thing, in high quantities when imbibed, it can cause the drinker to neglect their own well-being for the sake of hedonism and pleasure. You will no longer feel pain and therefore could find yourself in sticky situations. Once again, not to be brewed outside of the classroom. Am I clear? Good. Please turn to page 140 of your program. Now, this potion is an antidote to common afflictions and poisons. It can be used against ordinary poisons such as bites from creatures or beasts, as well as primitive brews from amateur potion makers. Its ingredients are some of the rarer ingredients. It is not particularly difficult to brew, but if done incorrectly, can become a poison itself, which is why it is imperative that we do it correctly. If not for ourselves, then for others around us. Now, bezoar is a type of stone. However, it can be cut. We take half of this weight, which which is 25 grams, with a silver knife and cut down. Although stone, it is malleable and soft. Keep the other half and just pop it in the cauldron. Next, we need to take the other half of the pisma and grind it into a fine powder. Put it in the mortar pestle and grind. Not too hard. And then tap it in to the cauldron. Now, we need to use some general ingredients. So we will include salt, and we'll also include some daisy juice. Put that back on there. Next, we must heat to a medium temperature, which you can do with your wand. And then wave your wand, not that way round, thusly. Good. Now, we would ordinarily leave this to brew for 40 minutes before returning. However, because I want to demonstrate to you the potion, you'll speed it up a bit. Good. Now, we need unicorn horn. A unicorn horn is quite rare and can be difficult to come by. So, with that in mind, we will take the unicorn horn. Now, the unicorn is not farmed for the horn. The unicorn gives its horn willingly, or it does not at all. We will file some off. There you go. The final ingredient, mistletoe berries. I do believe we have some. 10 should do. Now we stir. It has a tasteful aroma. And pour into an empty test tube. As you can see, the consistency looks red, but it will eventually turn into a much lighter colour. Now, thank you all for being so cooperative. Can you tell me, in front of you are 3 potions. One is maroon, the other is yellow, and the other is a lilac, almost transparent. Which one is the elixir for Euphoria? Yes, 5 points deducted from Gryffindor. Yes, that is correct. The yellow one in the centre. Now, if you are wanting to put someone to sleep for a very long time, which one of these potions would you use? The maroon potion, the yellow potion, or the lilac potion? Yes, that's correct. The lilac potion. 5 points to Gryffindor. And finally, if you were bitten by a snake, which one of these potions would help you to feel better? The maroon, the yellow, or the lilac? Yes. I see. Very clever. -5 points. While the elixir to induce euphoria would indeed make you feel better, it would not cure your ailment. Don't be clever. Be smart. Very well. Each of you, please take your copy of Advanced Potion Making with you, study it thoroughly, and commit to memory every single potion within. You are dismissed, except for you. I didn't think that it was very funny the way that you incorrectly answered the question. I would ask that in future, you refrain from this. Thank you. But that isn't why I asked you to stay. Professor Moody asked me to give you this. Why he would want me to provide you with this is beyond me, and information I'm not privy to. However, he informed me that for whatever reason you would require a Polyjuice potion. In this dose, it will only last 20 minutes. Do you understand? Take it with you. And you are to see